government setting up a review to look at how to ensure pupils in England study maths up to the age of 18. The Prime Minister said Britain must abandon its anti-maths mindset to boost growth, and that the cultural sense that it's okay to be bad at maths is putting children at a disadvantage at a time when jobs are increasingly linked to data and statistics. Opposition parties say that the plan won't work without more teachers. David Land was instrumental in establishing the first university technical college in the North East at Newton Aycliffe. He's also a trustee at the North East STEM Foundation. Our reporter Anna Murray's been speaking to him and asked him for his reaction to pupils studying maths to the age of 18.
I think it's a good thing, but it's getting children to stay post-16 in education is the challenge.
Yeah, so how do you think it needs to be taught to make it attractive to make kids stay beyond 16? Because I know for a fact I wouldn't have done.
No, I think, and that's where my University Technical College will come into it, because what the UTC does, it puts a practical-based learning alongside the academics. So the sort of, without getting myself into trouble, maybe it's the ones that aren't the higher achievers, the ones that will maybe struggle to understand what maths is about in the purest sense of its form, can actually understand the practical applications of where maths works and therefore get a better understanding and can therefore learn a little bit more from it.
But things like algebra and Pythagoras theorem, is that what would be taught beyond 16? Because quite frankly, ever since I left school, I've never used any of those.
Well, I don't think it did. I think when you're at school, you're trying to achieve an academic level that says you've got the ability to learn more to a certain level, rather than you actually going to use what you learn. But I think in some of the basic math forms, in terms of getting a better understanding, which is I think where the government are trying to get to, it's getting a broader understanding of how to control your finances, how the basic sort of maths works, how cost of living works, etc. So there's more than one side to it, I think.
And that's the important bit, isn't it, when it comes to the economy? It's getting younger people to understand money and understand maths. Is that how it would be taught, do you think? Is that the best way to get the messages across to younger people?
I think the best way of getting it across is to make it practical comparisons. If it looks to be a theoretical mathematical formula, it's difficult to understand. And you're right, Pythagoras theorem isn't something that comes to everyone easily. So you've got to find a different way of teaching it. And I think that's a problem the educational system has. They have a bit of a one-size-fits-all approach. And when you look at the students that they're trying to get through the system, they're all different. Every one of them's different now. And with the sort of diversity and inclusion that we're looking at, we're starting to understand the different levels of understanding kids have. So it's got to be adapted. To be successful, it's got to be adapted to whatever criteria or sector of academic level you're looking at.
Now, speaking of the actual rollout of teaching it, we're being told there aren't enough teachers. Is that what you find within your profession? I
think it's a difficult balance. There's probably not enough good teachers. There are a number of teachers around. I don't think the UTC, we're not short of teachers. We've got the right number, but it's a challenge to find good ones.
So what would you say to anyone, to parents and children who may be listening to this? Even parents will be thinking, well, I don't want to force my son or daughter to do maths if that's going to put them off education. What would your message be to parents and children then who may, in the long run, be forced to learn maths beyond the age of 16?
I think my message would be to try and find a way of how it's understandable and how you can relate it to your everyday life. Whether it doesn't matter where you're going to fit in society going forward, it's how does it apply to me? I think that's the message that we've got to get across. If I'm going to learn it, what's the payback for me? What am I going to get out of it? And I think that's the message that has to come out.
One quick one, David. 6 sixes.
6 sixes, 36.